Hey everyone, my name is Riley, and this video is a complete tutorial on Zoho campaigns. I will show you how you can get started with Zoho campaigns for free, how you can add and import emails into Zoho campaigns, how you can use the email builder to craft beautiful and professional emails, and then how you can create an automated email sequence to send these emails out on autopilot. This video is also timestamped down in the description, so if there are any sections that you need to rewatch, or there are any sections that you want to skip over, then you absolutely can by either using the timestamps in the description or scrolling along using the playbar. To get started with Zoho campaigns, I will leave my affiliate link in the description of this video. And once you go ahead and click on that, it's going to take you over to this page. So all we have to do is go right here and enter in your details. And then once they are entered, we can click on sign up for free. From here, we have a few questions to answer. So we just go through and select your role in the company. Then we just want to enter in the company name and your business address. You can then choose the current size of your contact list. So how many email subscribers do you currently have? We can enter that right there. And then the industry that you are in. From here, we can then click on next. And it's going to ask us if we want to integrate any platforms. We will get into that later. And then all we are going to do is click on finish right here. Just like that, we are now inside of Zoho campaigns, and we can now go ahead and start using this. Now, the very first thing that we want to do is make sure that you have the correct domain linked up. To do this, we want to click on this settings icon in the top right corner, and then go down to domain authentication right here. And this is where we want to add in our professional domain that we will be sending emails from. So we just go up and click on add sender. Then you can enter in the email address that you want to be sending emails from. You then send the verification email, verify that email address, and that is how you can link this up so that you have your professional business email that you will be sending emails from. Now, if we go back to the dashboard right here, the next thing that we are going to talk about is contacts. So if we go over to contacts on this left-hand side, and we click on all contacts right here, this is where we can see and add all of the contacts that we have on our email list. So I can see just some examples right here that Zoho campaigns have given me. I can see the email, the first name, the last name, the company that they work for, and then the phone number. Now to add and import new contacts into here, we want to go up to add new in this top right corner. And then we have these three different options. The first is going to be multiple contacts. Now, I don't really recommend this as this is going to take a long time, but this is where we can go in and essentially manually type out all of the emails that we want to add to this list. If you have a few hundred contacts, this is going to take a long time, right? So instead, what we can do is we can go up to add new and then import, and we can choose a file on how we would like to import our contacts. So you can either get a spreadsheet file from Google Docs or Excel, you can export a file from another email marketing tool, and then all we would do is drop it in right here. So I just have an example file. We can upload that right here and click on upload. We can then go to the subscription type and make sure this is on marketing so that they can receive these emails, and just go down and check this off. We can then choose the list that we want to add these contacts to. So we click into select list, and then we can create a mailing list right here. So I'm just going to say main email list and then save. The final thing that we need to do in this area is map these fields. So essentially it's going to show you the fields that we have in the file that we uploaded, and we just need to match them up. So this subscriber is going to show the email. This shows the email of the person. So I just go here and select contact email. Then sent, you would need to kind of cross-reference this and figure out where everything is. So sent essentially shows how many emails I've sent to this person. Now I don't want to add this, so I'm going to leave this yet to map. Same for opens, clicks, and subscribe. I'm going to leave these all blank. And then for the location, I'm going to go in here, then search for fields. I will search for city, and we can add that in right there, and then click on import. Just like that, it's now going to go through and it's going to import my contacts from the file that I uploaded into Zoho campaigns. Just like that, this is now complete. So if I go back to my contacts area right here, we go into all contacts. You can see the emails that I just added are going to show up right here. And then the final option that we have is to add new. and sync. And if you have emails collected on any of these providers that we see right here, like Shopify or Salesforce or Sugar CRM, you can connect that up and basically integrate these apps to transfer those emails over. So that is contacts. And we now have a few contacts in our email list. Next, we need to create an email campaign that we are going to send to this email list. So we can go into campaigns right here, and then we can choose between an email or an SMS campaign. I'm going to click into email campaigns, and this is going to take me over to the email campaign section. Now, I haven't created a campaign yet, so let's go ahead and do this. We just click on create campaign, and right here we have all of these different options for how we can create campaigns. Most people will just want to use a regular email. This is how we keep this nice and simple. A/B testing is where we can basically test out two different emails and see which one performs the best. So let's say I wanted to sell a coaching program. Then what I can do is I can create one email with a subject line and the email, and then I can create another email with a different subject line and a different email, and I can send them both out to my list and see which one most people opened, see which email actually converted better and made more people buy. And then for the rest of these, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail with them because it would just take too long. But we have things like SurveyMonkey, so you can connect this up with SurveyMonkey and we can collect surveys. You can create e-commerce emails, we can create coupon emails, but I'm just going to go up and create a regular email. With all of these, the fundamentals and how we actually create the email stays pretty much the same. So you will still understand the fundamentals on how we create any of these different emails. But we just want to click into regular email right here, and then we can create a campaign name. So let's say I'm going to sell a coaching program. We can call it right here, coaching program campaign, and then save and proceed. So I am now brought into the campaign, and the first thing that we can do is create a subject for this email. So we can click on add subject, and in here we can add a subject line and a pre-header. So this is the first thing that my subscribers will see when this lands in their inbox. So I need to make this something clickable. So I'm just going to say as an example, how I got 15 clients in 14 days. And then we can add a pre-header down here. I'll just say this email is filled with value. And we can click on save right here. And then for the sender, we can choose the sending email address that this email is going to be sent from. So we click add sender details, and I can just go ahead and select the sender name. Right now, you can see it basically gives me an error right here. And the reason for this is because I didn't actually set up this domain authentication. I didn't actually go through and do this. So if you go through and do that, like I said at the start of the video, then you won't have that problem. You will just be able to go through and create that. But we basically add the sender details in right here. We can add the reply to address, and then we can go down and choose the recipients and which email list we are going to send this to. So we just click on add recipients, and then we can choose the email list that we are going to send this to. We can even choose multiple email lists. We can click on save right here. And just like that, I can now see that this email is going to be sent to these two email lists. Next, let's go down and actually create the content and the main email for this campaign. So we just click on create content, and then we have a few different options. So I would recommend avoiding this HTML code editor. This essentially requires you to code your own email. I would also recommend ignoring this. We just don't need this. But then we have these few different options. So plain text editor is just going to allow you to send a plain text email. So no real design elements to it. Recently sent is if you have already created an email, you can basically just grab that email and use it as a template for your new email. And then we have pre-designed templates and basic templates. If I click into basic templates, we can see these are the basic templates right here, where once again, we don't really have any design. We just kind of have a placeholder for the logo, a placeholder for the header, and a placeholder for the text. So we would just go in and fill in this information with these placeholders rather than creating the entire thing from scratch. Or alternatively, if I just go back, we have pre-designed templates that are a lot more design heavy and are going to look absolutely fantastic. So this is usually where I am going to come when I need to create an email for my list. So in this example, we can go down and we can choose any of these options right here. I'm just going to go for this template, and then we can select it. And it's going to load us in to the Zoho drag and drop editor. In this editor, it's actually relatively easy to use, but it's just going to take a little bit of getting used to. So essentially, to change any of the text, we just click in, and then we can edit the text right here. So I'll just say, welcome to GeForce North. just like that. So that's how we can edit text. We can also click in and we have a few other options. So right here at the top, we can do things like bolding the text, we can italicize the text, we can change the font, we can change the font size, we can add links, all of these different options. Over here, we can choose the background color for the text. So you can see like this section right here is pink. But if I was to change this to like black, this section is going to change the background to black. I'm just going to go back right here. So that is text right there. To change any images on the website, we just click in, and then over on this left-hand side, we can go ahead and change this image. So what I might do is go in and change this image to an image of myself. So I just upload the image from my computer, and then I can add my image in right here. So I'm just going to use this image. And then maybe this is a little bit too far stretched over. So I'm going to click into this magic icon and just drag myself further into the middle. Just like that. Then I can click on save and close right here. I have that image added in. And then once again, on this main control panel on the left-hand side, I can do things like adding a background color. If I want to make this clickable to take people to a link, I can add the link in right there. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back and set this to the default and how it was before. Perfect. The same thing for this logo at the top. To change this, we just click in. We can click on change and then upload the logo right here. So we drop that in, select it, and then as you can see, the logo is now added. Once again, all of the changes I am going to make are over here on this left-hand control panel. So I can set this to like a custom size, and now I can drag this to make this as big or small as I want to. So maybe we can set this like that and drag it into the center. Maybe make this a little bit smaller, and perfect. So we just go through and we edit this right here. If you want to delete any elements or any sections, then all we have to do is select the section right here, click on this settings icon, and then we can click on delete. And that's going to remove that section. And then if we want to add any elements or sections to the website, we can just do this by dragging and dropping from this left-hand side. So if I wanted to add, for example, my social media links, I can click on social, drag this into the website, and then select where I want to drag this. Then once again, all of the changes are over here on the left-hand side. So I can choose which social medias I actually want to link. So let's go for YouTube. We can turn off LinkedIn, and then we would just link our pages right here. Then I'm going to click out, go back, and change the background color. Once again, all on this left-hand side. Just make sure this is congruent. And that is how we can create an email right there. So once the email is created, we can click on proceed in this top right corner. And okay, so we have a warning here. This is pretty cool about Zoho. If we have anything wrong in the email, it's going to tell us that they found an issue. So we can just click into invalid URL, and it basically tells us we didn't add a link to this button. So to change this, we can actually go in, edit the email right here, and then I would just need to add a link. So I click in here, we can then link to URL. So I'll just go www.google.com, done, and proceed. And now that should have fixed that issue right there. And then once you have created your email and we have no other issues, you should see a button right here to be able to send this. Because once again, I didn't set up the sender details, but you should see that down here. So that is the email section right there. But we can take this to the next level by creating automations. So if we go over to automations on this left-hand side, we can go in and we can create a workflow. And this is where we can turn Zoho campaigns into an email marketing autoresponder where we send out emails on autopilot. So right here, we have some templates that we can choose from. We have like welcome and onboarding. We can go through and preview this to see how these are going to look. We can go down and we can choose one of these templates if we want to. But in this example, I'm just going to go ahead and create one from scratch. So once again, I'll just call this sequence and click on create. And in here, we can now go ahead and build this out. So the first thing that we can do is add a trigger and basically say, when are people going to be added into this automation? So for the trigger, we can choose between any of these options, like a form submission, an email action, if they have been tagged with something, if they abandoned their cart on checkout on our e-commerce platform. But I'm going to keep this nice and simple and go with a form submission. So essentially, when they go to my landing page and they submit their email, we can drag that in right there. Next, we can go down to actions and say, once somebody has entered in their email and they are in this automation, what are we going to do next? So I can say, I want to send an email. We just drag this in. And as you can see, we are now going to be given this line. So we drag that in right there. Maybe we can straighten this up a little bit to make it look better. But basically, somebody fills out the form, they are added to this list, and we send them this message. So we can go in and click on create message right here. Once again, we can go in and create the subject line and pre-header. We can select the sender. And then just like we did before, we select the content. So I'm just going to go through and then choose one of these. I won't make any changes just in this example, and I will set this up. So we can go proceed right here and add this in, and that would be added right there. Then we could go in and maybe add a wait time. So we have the first email sent, and then we could say we maybe want to wait 1 day. So we'll say 1 day, just like that. And then after 1 day, we can go in and we can send out another email. So we would go through, create the message just as we did last time. And that is how we can set up the automations. So all we would do is click on activate right here. And that is going to activate this and set the automation up so that people can fill in that form and then be added to this automation sequence. Next, we have e-commerce. And this is where you can connect up Zoho campaigns with the e-commerce store of your choice. So we would just go through and click on proceed. And then we can go through and choose if we want to connect this with Zoho Commerce, with Shopify, with WooCommerce. We just click on integrate right here. And then we can connect this up with our store. So we would essentially just follow these instructions, enter in your store URL, get the API key, the secret. And if you don't know what any of this is, we can click on this instruction manual, and this is going to walk us through and show us exactly how to connect this up. And then essentially once we have this connected up, let's say I went with Shopify. When somebody enters their email into Shopify and gives me their information, then this person will be added to contacts. I will be able to go through and send out emails to them using Zoho campaigns. Then we have library. This is pretty easy. So we can just go into images right here. It's just going to show us all of the images that we have uploaded and used. Email templates is going to show us all of the email templates that we have created. We then have workflow templates and things like this. This is just going to show you things you have already created and might want to get back essentially. And then finally, down here we have reports. And this is where we can take a look into reports and we can see things like the campaigns that we have sent. We will be able to see the open rate, the click-through rate, all of the information that we need. And this is all going to be shown in this report section right here. So that is my Zoho campaigns tutorial. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.